doing is turning a 55-gallon plastic food grade safe drum into a 55-gallon composter that you can roll for about $45 a piece. You can buy these barrels for $10. Don't pay more than $15. And the only other things you need are 2 hinges, 2 locks, and a Harbor Freight dolly. What we're going to do is we're going to cut a 1-foot hole in the barrel, and we're going to cut it across these ridges, 1 foot by 1 foot approximately. An easy way to get a straight line to put your hinges on is use the seam right here. And now we're just going to cut this out with a circular saw. Use any circular saw. I just am using my electrical one with a ripping blade. You don't really need much of it, so I adjusted it to only expose about 1 inch so I didn't cut my finger off. And now you just roughly cut this box out. Okay, now that we got our rough cut out here, we are going to finish these corners that didn't cut all the way through with a oscillating tool, and this will free up this door. That was easy. Okay, our next step is going to be we're going to drill 3 holes in the bucket every 8th turn. Okay, the next step we're going to do is we're going to vacuum out the inside because there's a whole lot of plastic. You can see, all of this from cutting it, also on the outside. So just suck all that up because you don't want that in your compost. What we want to do is put the hinges on the door and make sure you have the hinge pointing up and out so the door can open all the way. If you put it this way, the door will only be able to open partially. So just put one in this corner and then one in the other corner. And the easiest way to do that is start this corner and then start the one on this corner and make sure that the pins are lined up so they're open on the same axis, and then screw the rest in. That these are now approximately in the same axis, so you can go and screw the middle ones in. The next step is to put this latch on, and I made the mistake on my first one of putting this one on the door, and the door will fold into the barrel on itself and you have to catch it and pull it. Now if you put this side on the door and leave it out like that, it's bigger than the opening and will not fall through the opening. So I'm going to attach these and then we attach to the barrel. The step we want to do is take our bolt cutters and cut the points off the screw so you don't catch yourself on them like I did when I was installing it. So it's pretty simple. You just snip the tops off. And then you do that for all of them. So we are going to put masking tape on the sides so we can tape it into this hole so we can screw in the hinges. What I do is tape the door into the hole, and as you can see I have the door backwards because it doesn't line up the cut. So just flip it over and then tape it into place. See, we tape the door into place, and now we are going to screw in these hinges. I would just do each corner and then untape it and make sure that it lifts and it's not binding, and then screw the rest in. I got the two corners in, and now you can see that the door opens and it doesn't bind up, so I can put in the rest of the screws. It helps if you keep the door open just a little bit to get the pins on the same axis. These on, and we got the door taped back in. So now what we want to do is extend these and then slip the bottom part into the pin. And then adjust it so you can put them in. Like, see, you don't want it like this because it's over the edge. You get it like that. And they open. So now just take the tape off and make sure the door opens and shuts, and that there are no clearance issues. If there are clearance issues, you can just cut it down or sand it with your oscillating tool. So the last step that you actually want to do before you're done is take your bolt cutters and cut these back so you don't cut yourself when you're going in and out. Cut the pointy parts off of all these, and now all you have to do is just pull them out of the jug because you don't want them in your compost. And this is how you make a 55-gallon drum composter